Hey, this is Liz Cortez with Rebelfish Local, and you really want to learn how to level up your life? You should be listening to Time to Shine Today podcast with my good friend Scott Ferguson. Let's level up.
Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. This is Scott Ferguson. We're at episode 318 with my awesome sauce friend from the left coast out in San Diego, Liz Cortez with Rebelfish Local. And whether you're an online marketer or a brick and mortar business, SEO online can help bring people to your site, or more importantly, if you do have the brick and mortar business, to your door. And that's what Liz and her team will help your business level up and bring them in organically. It's a beautiful process she has. She breaks it down in our interview. So if you're looking to grow your business, whether online or physical, then break out your digital recorder or digital note taker, or just a pen and pad and paper, because the knowledge nuggets she drops are absolutely priceless. I know I picked up a couple right off the bat. She has an awesome free giveaway as well if you listen to the end. So without further ado, here's my really good friend Liz Cortez from Rebelfish Local. Let's level up. Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. This is Scott Ferguson, and I got my awesome sauce, beautiful friend here from the left coast, Miss Liz Cortez, who went from a fitness influencer to working full-time with her badass awesome sauce husband at her company, Rebelfish Local. It's a marketing agency in San Diego, California, my favorite place on this earth. I got so much traction from a podcast that I did, because before we would go downrange to Iraq or whatnot, we would always go to the Sunset Cliffs in La Jolla and have the last party. And literally in my will, the people that have listened to my podcast before, my ashes will be scattered off the Sunset Cliffs, it's fantastic. But back to my good friend Liz. They help local businesses get more traffic with local SEO and help them get more clients by implementing story brand copywriting to the website. And I'm so stoked for this, because I know that there's companies out there that need my good friend Liz's help because their funnels are absolute junk, and they're just not getting the exposure that they need. And that's what Liz will help you get. And Liz, thank you so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to Time to Shine Today podcast Varsity Squad. But first, what's your favorite color and why?
My favorite color is white.
Really?
I love white. You can
Love
see these
it.
white. I have white pillows. I love everything white. I have a white desk. Is that even a color?
It is. Absolutely.
Does it count?
Yes, absolutely. White is fantastic.
Why? I just think it looks clean. I like simple.
And it's in everybody's
white clouds.
It's in everybody's color wheel. Anybody can wear white, right? So let's get to your origins a little bit, from being kind of a fitness influencer, which you're pretty well put together. I see that. That's awesome. You obviously still take care of yourself, but how that kind of merged in with your hubby in building Rebelfish.
Yeah. So I moved to San Diego, where all the fitness people go after graduating from college. I thought I would make so much more money out here going to the capital, fitness. No, I made more money in Albuquerque, New Mexico in fitness than I did over here.
Wow.
A lot of competition here. But I met my husband because he wanted to lose 100 pounds.
Okay.
So he hired me, of course. He wanted to get to know me. He was like, hey, I'm going to marry that woman. I'm going to hire her. Help me lose 100 pounds. And so that's how we got to know each other
That's
from that.
awesome.
And then Rebelfish came 7 years later. We've been married 11 years now.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, lucky dude, man. He had his tactics in place. That's fantastic.
He did. It worked.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what Rebelfish does.
Yeah. So we love working with local businesses. So that isn't just in San Diego.
Mhm.
A local business means that you want customers within like 5 to 10 minutes of your physical location. Now, like financial planners or realtors, you probably don't have a physical location, but you work with people in your city.
Your farm.
So
yeah,
you want to get local customers. And if you're an online business or a coach, you can still get traffic locally by like tapping into Google Maps and sending traffic to your website. So that's what we do. We help set up those systems and structures so that you can get more local traffic to your site, which if they can get to your site, they can schedule a call. If you're high ticket, like they can, or come to your business. We do all that tech stuff.
Okay.
Tech and analytics and the numbers, all that stuff. My team is amazing for all of that.
So what's the biggest mistake people make when they're trying to draw people to them through online to their physical locations? What do you think the biggest mistake is people are making?
Well, I think it's 80% of people have not claimed their Yelp profile.
Wow.
80% of local businesses have not done that. So that's a top mistake. With Google, when it comes to Google, I think the stat is 2/3 of businesses have not claimed their Google profile.
Wow.
So for iPhone users, your Apple Maps connects to Yelp, and for everyone else, whatever phone you have, it all connects to Google Maps.
Wow.
So if you have not claimed that, and it's free, all you have to do is log in, create an account, and say, this is my business. And like you get a postcard, or sometimes they just send you an email or call your business line. You claim it, then you can add photos. You can make sure your address is correct, your hours, all that stuff, which is so important now with kind of like businesses aren't operating normal hours for the past couple of years.
No way.
A lot have closed down. It's confusing. I go all the time to a business and I'm like, they're closed. Like it says they're open on Yelp or Google.
Sure.
So I think that's the biggest mistake that local businesses make. And then for the online people, you guys can tap into this too. If you work from home, you can just hide your address and you can tap into Google and Yelp, and you hide your address by being a service area business. So you say, I service 50 miles or 25 or 100, whatever you want. If I say that, we're like out into the ocean.
Right.
Radius of it.
Right. No, I feel you.
Right here. But yeah, I think that's the biggest mistake people make.
Huge nuggets there. Huge nuggets. So do you work, like, how do you market for your business then? Like, what are you doing to get out there and get people to come to Rebelfish?
So what we've been doing the past couple of years is I've been in paid high ticket groups. So I pay yearly. Some of them are 5 figures. Like I'm joining, I'm in masterminds, coaching programs. I'm meeting other people that don't offer our service and partnering with them. That has been the main way that we have grown our company. That is a little scary because I don't want to only rely on referrals.
Sure.
But I'd say for the average company, you rely on referrals of your customers.
Okay.
Well, now I'm like creating these strategic partnerships. One of our core values is R in Rebel for relationships matter. So you can only like join groups if you really care about people. You want to really help them, you're giving to them, because people will know if you're just in that group to take.
Right.
And that just doesn't work. So
I love that.
That has really made a huge difference the past couple of years. But as I was analyzing the numbers this past week, I'm like, ooh, I need to work on our online funnels a little better, because it's like just too much referrals than what I like. And we get lots of traffic from blogs and all of that. But I do want to dial in those funnels. So I've been interviewing email marketing companies. Because I'm like, I want you to analyze what we're doing and like tweak my free offers, my emails,
call to actions, everything, right?
Because I want the cold email or in like paid advertising just to be really dialed in a lot better.
Beautiful. Okay.
So that's what I've been working on.
I love it. And so when people you do meet, let me ask this then. So if I'm out at a networking event and, I'm a big believer, my mom always told me, 2 ears, 1 mouth for a reason, like I'm listening. And that's when I go to networking events, I am more interested, I think you are too, of hearing their story than I am about telling mine. Right. So like if I'm listening to them, what kind of phrases, keywords, or whatnot might they be saying to me that would make them a great referral or a prospect or an introduction to Rebelfish?
Yes, the best would be someone that is like an agency. They have 3 or 5 people on their team. They're probably contractors. They're providing they're doing Google ads, or they're doing website graphic design for businesses. But the problem is you can do do Google ads. And I think anyone who's doing ads or Facebook ads should also be doing local SEO at the same time. If you have a beautiful website or graphic design is beautiful on the site, but you're not getting traffic to go there, and someone just spent all this money to build a beautiful website, you need the right traffic.
Right.
So it's like these partnerships. It's like a marriage. It's like perfect, because when we dig into the business and are creating a content strategy and getting them on Google and getting this traffic, I'm proving to them what they invested to get, a $5, $10, $20,000 website. I'm proving in them that it works.
Yes.
And if you're only relying on ads, Facebook, was it last year? It shut down for a day. So all those people that were relying on ads and that's how they make money, well, they lost. I know people that lost a lot of money that day.
Yeah,
it was
just
just one
I lost
day.
$7,000 myself.
Totally. You know how it goes.
Yeah. That's crazy. So when you're maybe in a discovery period with a company that wants to come to you, right? What do you, some of your secret sauce, if you don't mind sharing, that maybe helps them find their blind spot of why they're not getting the customers that they're looking for?
It's that word everyone likes to hear. Let me audit your business.
Okay.
Just kidding. No one wants to hear
that's
that.
fine. Sure.
Let me tell you what you're doing wrong. But this is, people, I offer this for free. It's, if you go to our website, it's $100, $97 for it. But I offer this for free on podcasts or for these paid groups I'm in, where we'll do it for free, a 30-minute. So my team does some research and then we do a 30-minute call or record it, and it's all pure value. This is what you're doing wrong. So you have to have some thick skin, and this is what's doing wrong, and this is how to fix it and what you should be doing instead. So those calls, man, we started doing those. Think about, we always did it internally, us as a team, before we brought on a client, because we want to know, can we rank them? Can we deliver what we're promising?
Love it.
We always do a couple hours of research before, but what I found is that people, they were curious. They needed to learn some basics about SEO because it's confusing. And so I don't think you should hire any company unless you know a little bit about what's going on, or else you're going to make the wrong decision and hire the wrong person, because you're going to believe what they say. And a lot of people do lie. They say they'll do something, but they don't deliver on it. I hate that in our industry. So I was like, let's be transparent. I'll show you exactly, go on my screen, show you all the things.
Right.
You can send this to your web developer or whoever fixes your SEO that you're using, and give them a checklist and show them what to do so that they can get more traffic.
And probably 90% of them are like, shit, I don't even have that. And that's where you can kind of come in and help them level up, right? I love it. So
totally.
Maybe while you're in that discovery conversation, Liz, is there any good question that you wish that they would ask you but never do?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think in the discovery, they always come in with their thought of what they should do. Like yesterday, we had someone schedule a call, because everyone thinks we're a social media company. We're not a social media company. So we were on a call yesterday, and they're like, I want you to do social media. They come with this idea of what they think they should be doing because they saw someone else doing it. I wish that they came in on that call and said, what do you think I should do? Like, you're the consultant.
Yes.
Instead of them coming in and telling us what we should do, and then we have to say, no, I don't agree with that. And then it's kind of like, they have an ego. Like they're so excited, and they're like, why won't you just, so we tell people no frequently. But I wish that they would just come in and ask. That's why they're coming to us for consulting.
Yeah.
They want our advice.
Yes.
And I know other companies say you should give them what they want. What is it? Sell them what they need. No.
Yeah.
What is that quote? I don't know. The need versus the want.
Right. And you're 100% right, because, the smartest man in the room is someone that hires someone smarter than that, period. And that's where I've really helped level up. And, I speak on that a lot, basically delegating in a sense where, people come to Rebelfish, you're technically working for them, but you have to trust that process as well, because, that's what you do. In Squad, you really, really have to do that 100%. So then what do you feel then maybe, you guys kind of take the Stephen Covey approach when you start working with people of like begin with the end in mind. Is that what you're seeing? Is that something that you might ask and say, where do you see your company 5 years down the road? And then how your services can be implemented into that?
We don't do that big of a vision. I wish we did.
Okay.
Focus. Have you heard of Strengths Finder? I'm sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Strengths Finder. Mm-hmm. So focus is my number one strength. And focus people, we can only see like 1 year into the future or a quarter.
No,
so
very
we see
good.
Kind of smaller. Same, and my husband, he's so relational, but we're really looking at the next 3 months, the next year. For our company, of course, we do vision planning, and it is hard to do a 10-year vision and do that. We have that all mapped out.
Thank you for saying that, because I was trying to trip you up. To be honest with you, because somebody that does that is full of shit. Excuse my language. They just are. Okay. And, I'm a big believer in inch by inch, it's a cinch. By the yard, it's hard. So if you're breaking it down into that, like the visions change in 3 to 6 months sometimes, especially if Rebel Fish is getting people coming in your door. Right. And then you're going to have to grow to thank you. Thank you for being transparent, honest.
Okay, good.
And putting me in my place.
Trying to be tripped up.
No, it's put me in my place. So let me ask you something. Have you seen the movie? Because you went through a lot of experiences. Did you grow up in Albuquerque then?
So I grew up in Texas originally.
Okay.
And then moved to Idaho.
Ooh,
and then to New Mexico.
Right. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then moved to New Mexico. So I'm the oldest of 4 girls, and I'm a homeschooler.
Lucky
so I
dad.
just think a little differently.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you laterally think. That's fantastic. So if you've seen the movie Back to the Future?
Yes.
Okay. Let's get in that DeLorean with Marty McFly. Okay. Let's go back to maybe the 22-year-old Liz. I don't know what your last name was then, but the 22-year-old Liz
Jones.
Yeah, Liz Jones. Let's go back to
keeping up with the Joneses.
Liz Jones.
All the stereotypes are true.
What kind of knowledge nuggets? That's what we call them here at Time Shine today. What kind of knowledge nuggets might you drop on the Double Deuce, the 22-year-old Liz? Not to change anything, because your life's great, but to maybe help her level up, shorten that learning curve, maybe just a little bit quicker.
So when I was 22, that's about the time that I was moving out to San Diego.
Okay.
That was my first time, graduating college, going out on my own. And that was when I was learning about how to go online. I came out here and things were not going my way. I was not making the money that I thought. And expenses are way higher in San Diego than Albuquerque.
Okay.
And I hired a coach for $25,000 around that time.
Okay.
I know. Ouch. I still had student loans.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband and I were talking about this yesterday and just remembering back then. And he's like, yeah, that was my biggest regret, to tell you, like, yeah, you should sign up for that. Like, He sounds legit. He sounds true. You're gonna make 100,000 from that. You should do it. But I didn't. That was like hiring someone too advanced. I didn't have the extra money. I could barely pay the monthly fee because I got a loan from them.
Sure.
That was another red flag. But I could barely pay that monthly fee to pay off that $25,000. And so then I didn't have the extra money to implement the strategies he was telling me to do.
Okay.
So I think that's going back. I wish that I would have hired an agency and paid them that money, instead of hiring a coach. And I'm all for coaching. I love learning. That's why I keep signing up for stuff. I love courses. I love coaching. I'm like easiest person to sell whatever you have to, because I'm like, you want
to level up
for everyone. Absolutely. I want to learn it all. But when launching a business, people, in this case, he was too advanced. So I think it's a lot better if you can't hire an agency to do some work. Like I told a friend, I was like, go from part-time to full-time work. You're a PA. You can make she makes $15,000 a month on Zoom calls. I mean, it's a boring job, what she does.
Sure.
On Zoom calls. But I was like, with that $15,000, you can hire hire this person to make your free offer funnel. Hire this person over here. I was like, don't hire us. We're not on your budget, but hire these people that I know and then, but just work your job like you can for the next 6 months. Regulations are changing. So she only has 6 months to make as much income. And I was like, do this instead. And so that is what I wish I would have got, is that same advice. Like, have a coach, like someone that's more like a little bit more advanced than where I was. So I was making hardly any money with my business. It was personal training. So it's like, it wasn't even covering all my monthly expenses.
Okay.
But I could have done like a hybrid, like a coach, but also some done for you. I love
that advice to have the agency, because the agency would have did a lot of it that the coach told you to do, but you couldn't afford to because you paid the coach. I love that advice. So Liz, how do you want your dash remembered? That little line in between your incarnation date and your expiration date, your life date and death date. Hopefully it's a bazillion years down the road, but how do you want your dash remembered, Liz?
I want to be remembered that just I helped like just local businesses thrive. I really am passionate about other couples working together. Because like I mean, small businesses have been attacked the past 2 years like crazy. It is just so sad how many people have been closed down. And I don't think it's going to get any easier for small businesses. And I want more couples to work together, more families to work together, because they can have more time. Like my husband and I, we've both lost our moms. He lost his 6 years ago. I lost mine. It'll be almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, mine's 3 years next month. Yeah.
Yeah. And because we work together, we could take that time to grieve. My sister, my youngest sister is a doctor. She was given 3 days for bereavement.
Wow.
I'm like, that's not enough time. No, and so I just know growing up as a Jones, you can ignore all the things and you're just working and hustling all the time. But I think it's so important. Mental health is really important. We have a lot of mental illness in our family.
Sure.
And I'm just like take that time. And so whether you have a baby or someone dies or you're taking care of someone that's sick, then if you work with your spouse or a family member, like you can pick up
they're a rock. And so I love that.
That's what I want. I want to see more people and like thrive, not argue like the TV shows do. They're all arguing. They paint a terrible picture of what it's like to work with your family, and that's not always accurate.
And thank you for saying about the mental health. Thank you for donating also to the Suicide Life Prevention Hotline when you asked to come on the show. It's huge. My little brother killed himself. I just had my best friend I served with hung himself on Father's Day. So I get it, and it sucks. And it was a lot of it because the family dynamic wasn't in place. And I really, really appreciate you saying that. So then what do you think people might misunderstand the most about Liz?
Misunderstand? Oh, I've never been asked this question. It's a good question.
It's time to shine today, baby. We go deep.
Oh man, we are going deep. I'd say, I think they misunderstand how sensitive I am.
Okay.
So I look strong. I was a D1 athlete.
Thank you.
I coached gymnastics.
Okay.
And like, I think a lot of people see your confidence, how you shine on camera, how you show up, your presence when you walk into a room, but they don't see how like sensitive people can be. Like, so I'm definitely sensitive. So like words, reviews, reputation, like that is really important to me. And when something doesn't go right, or like someone makes fun of you joking on the mic, I'm like, oh, that like hurt.
It stung a little bit.
And I'm like, oh man. So I say that because I look strong and I look very confident, but I struggle with anxiety.
Okay.
I mean, I am sensitive to what people say. And like, I think that is, maybe everyone's like that, but I think I'm a little.
No, I love that you're transparent about that. Just like your company, you're being transparent. That's what we love here at Time to Shine today, is to pull the best out of people. And thank you so much for being honest. So then what, if anything, keeps you up at night?
Keeps me up at night. Well, if I have alcohol, that keeps me up at night.
Okay.
So we try to do we're doing no alcohol for 90 days. I think we're taking a break right now over the summer, but yeah, that keeps me up at night. I really love learning. I love learning. Stress or anxiety doesn't keep me up at
You're a
night.
D1 athlete, so a
I
lot of times
I like
stress
to
doesn't hit you like
learn.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's stress. And
Yeah.
so that's what I really have been working on. I have a counselor that's one-on-one, like to work with the grief with my mom. And then
Yeah.
we have a couples counselor because we work together. So for 6 of the 7 years, we've had a couples counselor just to work through all the things that happen with having a dual relationship. But what I've been really working on lately is just fear and anxiety. Like that's the same thing, fear and anxiety.
Yeah.
And for so many years, I would say I'm fearless, unstoppable, all of that, being
Right.
an athlete, but it's been there. And so I'm not as conscious of that fear and
Right.
anxiety. And so that's what I've been really working on,
Dig
trying
into
to
it.
see that, because
Yeah.
I don't want to acknowledge it's there, but it is, man, it's there a lot.
I love it that you're not like an imposter with it, though. I mean, I believe that I'm a big believer in, people say fake it till you make it. I believe in faith it till you make it. Like, because faith will cut that fear right on. I'm not saying you have to go religious faith. I don't go that way with my podcast. I'm a Christian, but I don't, push that out there. But I'm a huge believer in faith in it till you're making it. And I love that your transparency there. So time to shine today, podcast Varsity Squad. We are back with Liz Cortes from Cortes. That is with an S, by the way, squad, from Rebel Fish. And Liz, you and I, we'll meet up one day. We'll have a fun discussion, and we'll probably spend 15, 20 minutes on each one of these questions that I ask you. But you got 5 seconds with no explanation. So you say it, we move on to the next one. We got a buzzer here. I'm kidding. But 5 seconds with no explanations. You ready to level up?
Ready.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Liz, what is the best leveling up advice you've ever received?
It was to not start an agency and go work for one.
Love it. Share one of your personal habits that contributes to your success.
Turning off all notifications on your phone all day long.
Beautiful. So you see me walking down the street, you're like, man, Fergie looks like he's in his doldrums a little bit. Like, what book might you hand me to level me up?
You're in your what? What'd you say?
I'm in my doldrums. I'm not feeling it today.
Oh, you're not feeling it. Oh, I'm doing longer than 5 seconds.
You're fine. I know what book I'd hope you hand me. It's called The Go-Giver by Bob Berg. And because everything you've talked about is part of his laws.
Okay, that's the book that I'll give. I need to read that one. I read so many science books.
Gotcha.
Analytical. I couldn't think of anything.
Okay, next question. What is your most commonly used emoji when you text?
The high fives.
Love it. Nicknames growing up?
Lizzie the Lizard.
Love it. So chess, checkers, or Monopoly?
Chess.
Wow, awesome. Go-to ice cream flavor?
Well, it needs to be vegan because I have a dairy allergy. So dairy-free caramel chocolate chip.
Yum, sounds good. There's a sandwich called Lizzie the Lizard. What's on that sandwich?
What I had last night for dinner: gluten-free bread and some pastrami and some turkey, salami, lettuce, tomato.
Love it.
No cheese.
Favorite charity and or organization you like to give your time or money to?
Ooh, we give a lot to different ones, but the recent one, we support some missionaries in an undisclosed location.
Yay! Thank you for doing that.
We bought some sheep for them so they can give birth to more sheep.
Yay!
And help out their community.
Awesome. And last question, what is the best decade of music? 60s, 70s, 80s, or 90s?
The 90s.
All right, very cool. I love the 90s. I graduated in 1990, so the 80s is my jam. But, I'm 50 years old now,
that's how my husband would have answered. He would have said the 80s.
Awesome.
I was a homeschool Christian kid growing up. We weren't allowed to listen to any music. So I learned all that 90s stuff in
beautiful. Great decade. Fantastic. That's why I cut it off because everything after the 90s, they're using hooks from the 80s and 90s. Like you listen to songs now, a lot of them are using Pitbull. He uses all the hooks from the 80s and 90s in his music.
And all the movies, they're all remakes.
Yes. So Liz, how can we find you, my friend?
So the best way to find us is to go to rebelfishlocal.com.
Okay.
That's the best place. And earlier I mentioned if you have a local business or you want to understand how to do that Google and Yelp stuff, you can sign up. Since you listen to this podcast this whole entire time, you can sign up at rebelfishlocal.com/audit.
Okay.
Normally I charge $100 for that audit, but it will be no charge of you as my
Beautiful.
gift for listening to this whole podcast.
Thank you so much. And we'll put that down. Make sure that makes it into the top of the show notes, because if you didn't listen this long, then it's on you, squad, out there. So honestly, squad, we have had a fun conversation, kind of a free masterclass here from my good friend Liz on how to grow your business. So if you're a local business, or she also handles nationwide, that if you want customers within 5 to 10 minutes of your physical location, get with me to make a warm introduction to Liz to help grow your business. 80% of the people out there, business out there, have not claimed their Yelp profile. So do that now. And also if you're an online marketer, you can hide your address on Google and Yelp services and area business, and that can still help you level up as well. The core values at Rebel Fish is relationships matter. And that's what I love, that they are more interested in your story and how they can help you than telling you theirs. It's like they will help. They'll do a deep dive into your business. Okay. They will dig into your marketing strategies and whatnot, see how you can help. And again, if you go to rebelfishlocal.com/audit, then you'll get a free audit as well, courtesy of my awesome friend Liz here. And if you're doing ads, you should also be doing local SEO as well. She reminded us. So again, there's so many things that go into this, and the smarter man in the room, hire someone smarter than them. That's what you want to do with Rebel Fish. They're very focused there, and it comes from her D1 and her gymnastics and whatnot. You have to live really in the present moment and be focused. And they're a big believer in a slow grow. Inch by inch, it's a cinch. By the yard, it's hard. So because your vision changes as you go along. And I kind of picked up, like, from one of her friends that was out there, that she said, start a business on the side while you're working it. And that's something that I was told: work your day job, but mind your own business. Build that business that's going to give you that freedom. She's passionate to help people thrive. She's especially building power couples in this day and age and helping families thrive. She's someone that's going to slide across home plate at the end of her life, bumped and bruised, but knowing that she planted trees she's probably never going to sit in the shade of, because of how much of a go-giver she is. She levels up her health. She levels up her wealth. She's earned her varsity squad letter here at Time to Shine today. Thank you so much for coming on. I absolutely love your guts, and I can't wait to collaborate with you in the future.
Thanks, squad, for listening, and thanks, Scott, for having me on.
Chat soon.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to this episode of Time to Shine Today podcast, proudly brought to you by Sutter and Nugent Real Estate Excellence, who can be reached at 561-249-7266 and online at www.sutterandnugent.com. If you are a business owner or professional who would like to be interviewed on Time to Shine Today, please visit timetoshinetoday.com/guest. If you like this episode, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. There's a link in the show notes to our website. Also there, you will see our recommended resources. We hope that you will support our show by supporting them. If you like what you've been listening to, it'd be great if you could just give us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe while you're at it. I'm your host, Scott Ferguson, and until next time, let's level up. It's our time to shine.